How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be connection lost. Connection lost. What I mean by this when I'm talking about a connection lost, I'm talking about when you get ready to engage with someone, talk over the phone, a visit, whatever the case may be. When you get ready to engage in meeting with someone, and I've said this in other videos, you're agreeing that you're going to share this interaction. It's not going to be all you. It's not going to be all them. It's not going to always be 50-50 either. It's going to be some give and take in that relationship. But what I'm talking about is when it's a connection lost, where either the both of you are just, being so set in your ways to where I don't even want to hear what you're offering, because either it's leading to you're trying to persuade me into doing something, just change my mindset, or, well, not or, and I'm trying to seek out what's the best way to interact with you. So I try to switch it over to something positive, but then I can't even do that, because if I switch it over to something positive, that turns around and bites me. Either you flip it around, make it about yourself or something discouraging, or throw some sort of verbal jab. So it feels like I'm at a loss with this connection every time we interact. And what I mean by a loss, L-O-S-S, a loss, every time that we're interacting, I'm at a loss. It becomes taxing, it becomes draining, and then you have to evaluate, why is the connection lost? Am I not in the right mind frame to hear what this person is saying when I go around? Or are they trying to beat me over my head with something? Are they trying to persuade me and doing something that they want me to do? Maybe the topics that they're talking about all the time, maybe they're picking the topics. I would like to choose and talk about something else, more upbeat, more in the upswing of things, something that's more encouraging. And this person is just not having that. I've talked about these type of interactions before on this channel, where you have people that sometimes they're just in such a bad headspace. It's not enough for you to come down there and be with them in that moment, but it's almost like they want you to come down there and live in that moment. Now, there's nothing wrong with having empathy and sympathy towards the individual. And there's a lot of times in friendships and relationships that you do that. But I'm talking about these interactions where it's really never any upside to them. And it feels like a connection lost. Because it's like, what are we coming together for? It should be some sort of commonality of us coming together. Besides, we just have this relationship. What is the connection? Is it healthy? Is it healthy for both of us? That's the kicker for the whole video that I'm doing here. This thought process causes us to go back, reevaluate what we're doing, what the other person is doing, what we're doing, so as to either prevent a connection from being lost, or see what needs to be done in order to restore that connection. Sometimes it may be time. Sometimes it may be you just needing to take in some air, or the other person needing to take in some air. Maybe you need to figure out when are some better times that you could have a good connection with that person. When is a time where maybe they're firing on all cylinders and I am as well. So we can have a better connection, so we're not always meeting at the head of something that's destructive, something that brings them down or me down or us down together, something that's just tearing down the relationship. So we can prevent these connections from being lost. That's a lot of the topics that I'm talking about on here when I'm talking about when you interact with someone, you're getting back to being yourself so you can get filled back up with that 100% being you, the best you that you could possibly be. And you're just like, man, I'm coming from a really low place. after I get done doing this, or I get done doing that, or I get done speaking to this person, or I get done interacting with that person, what can I do so that's not unhealthy? Are there some steps that I could take? That's one of the things that I touch on in my book, I Ain't Kilimanjaro, The Arithmetic of Family Communication. I talk about taking things to yourself, knowing what you're dealing with, so you can prevent these strained relationships, so you can prevent severing relationships. You have to evaluate how you're interacting with people. Want to improve on those things so you can prevent a connection from being lost. It's the topic of this video. In the meantime, if you hadn't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. Check out the links in the description for that book, I Ain't Kilimanjaro, The Arithmetic of Family Communication. The link is in the description, and you can get the book on Amazon in paperback and an ebook copy. In the meantime, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. My name's Ayin. You have a good one.